Hi there, this is Ranjit, and in this video I'll give you my hands-on review with this OnePlus 50. And guys, this is a retail unit that I had purchased from Amazon India, and I have made a lot of notes, so we'll go over it and we'll go over the things that I like, some of the things that I did not like, and some of the things that actually surprised me with this smartphone. And I've got this sandstone finish, but if you're purchasing it, I would say not to go with the sandstone variant, but go with the regular black or the purple, because that comes with actually a glass back. I'll talk about it why later on. So first, let's quickly see what comes inside the box. Guys, I'll leave the link of Amazon in the description. So that's from where I had purchased it, and it was for 73,000. This is the base variant that comes with 12 gigabytes of RAM and 256 gigabytes of storage. There's also one more variant that will come with 16 gigabytes of RAM and 512 gigabytes of storage. The good thing is that any variant you buy, you are gonna get the same type of RAM. It's a very fast RAM, and also the UFS storage is 4.1. that is again very fast. So in the box, apart from this, you also get the charging cable, which is a type A to type C cable that you're getting, and this is actually a 120 watt SuperVOOC charger that you get. Also, apart from that, you also do get a case in the box, and that's actually color matched to the phone. So nice to see that OnePlus is still bundling these things inside the box, and I feel it's high time other brands actually learn a few things, in my frank opinion. Okay, first let's go over the physical aspects, then we'll talk about the things that I've noticed about. And here again, as you see, we have openings for the speaker. We also have an IR blaster on this one, so that's nice. And again, the internal frame is aluminum, but again, on the sandstone variant, they have this coating, and this is not very slippery. The back is actually very slippery, but this provides enough grip towards it, so I like the feel of this one. And also the button quality is actually good. There's no wobble or anything on this one, so that's nice. Also, moving to bottom, again, we do of course have stereo speakers, and again I have to say the stereo speakers are actually very loud and clear on this smartphone. Another thing that I like is that again, in the Indian variant we have 2 nano SIM, so that's actually nice, but we also have an option of eSIM, so you can also use a eSIM with it, so that's actually nice. And here we have nothing, and alert slider is sort of now missing on these OnePlus, so this is known as an action button, and you can customize it to whatever you want, but I have just kept it to do not disturb on and off, but you can customize to anything you want. Again, this is very similar to what we are getting on the new iPhones. Okay, now moving to the thing why I do not recommend the sandstone variant. Again, the sandstone variant, again, this is not having a glass back, and this is made up of fiberglass and a combination of plastic. Don't get me wrong, in terms of touch, it feels very nice. In fact, this is very smooth. They have sort of a ceramic coating on this one. Feels very smooth. In fact, so smooth that it feels very slippery. But the thing that I've noticed is that and some of you on Twitter asked me, does this variant actually flex? And I was like, why flex? So I thought, okay, let's try it. And if I try to twist it, notice, okay, I have to do it like this slightly. If you look at it, it is twisting a little bit, and I'm not actually applying a lot of force. A person with a lot more strength can actually, then the flex might be a little bit visible. So that is something that I do not like with this one. This is again a phone, a flagship. I've never seen in recent times a flagship that is flexing. In fact, this is the iPhone here. It's a lot more slimmer, and this, if I try to bend it or whatever, nothing actually happens to this one. So that is something that I've noticed. So I would opt for, say, if you're buying this phone, opt for the regular black or the purple ones that come with a glass back. Okay, next thing about this smartphone, again, from a specs point of view, again, this has everything that you expect. I would say the fastest Qualcomm processor, you're getting the Snapdragon 8 Elite Generation 5 that you're getting, the fastest RAM, the fastest storage, wireless charging up to 50 watts that you're getting. So again, from a specs point of view, you have everything. But again, everything is not about the specs. So let's talk about next thing about this smartphone, and that is the screen. And here some of you will be disappointed, because earlier Samsung, I'm calling OnePlus flagships used to come with a Quad HD Plus screen. Also, you call it 2K screens or whatever. But here they downgraded to a 1.5K screen. But the thing is that if I go to display and brightness, if you go to the screen resolution, I've kept it on high, and if you notice the height, the resolution, and I also have the iQOO 15 with me, and this time on iQOO they have put a very high quality screen, one of the best screens that I have seen. And if you go to the display, and if I go to screen resolution, you have that Quad HD. And again, as you can see, the resolution is a lot higher on this one. And for day-to-day usage, again, if you are not comparing it side by side, this won't matter to most of you. But what I have noticed is that when you have some very, very fine small text, what I noticed is that sometimes that very small text is a little bit more sharper if you have a Quad HD display. So some of you might see this as a downgrade to existing OnePlus, and I don't know why they did it. They say that they did this because this one they have bumped up the screen refresh rate to 165 hertz, and I've been actually kept it on high and using it. But the thing is that 165 hertz is only enabled in a few games like Call of Duty, some racing games, and these are 4 or 5 games. Rest of the time, again, in the UI and everything, its maximum is 120 hertz, that 1 to 120 hertz. So I feel, yes, they should have kept the Quad HD screen, because apart from the processor and SoC, the next biggest expense on a smartphone is the screen display quality. Also, in terms of brightness, don't get me wrong, this is adequately bright. Outdoors it's visible, but again, if I compare it with some of the other flagship, this was the iPhone Air. This, in terms of the high brightness, can go, I think so, 2500 nits or something. This is 1800 nits. And in super bright area, I felt that the iPhone was looking slightly brighter and also had a slightly better contrast. And that was the same case even with this iQOO 15, because this iQOO 15 HBM can go up to 2600 nits. So definitely I would say here they did a slight cost cutting in my frank opinion. But again, if you're not used to those very high brightness screens, you will not notice that difference. I'm used to it because I test so many phones. I didn't notice that. Okay, next thing is this is a good thing. Fortunately, if you want, let's go to Netflix. This does support Dolby Vision, and if you go to, and one more thing I noticed, though this is having 12 gigabytes of RAM, for some reason, I don't know, as of now, I applied the latest update and everything, RAM management is slightly on the aggressive side. If I don't use the app for 20 minutes, because I was using the Netflix just before shooting the video, so about 20 odd minutes earlier, and now again it rebooted it. It has a tendency to boot out apps slightly quicker than what I felt. For example, if you just go to any latest Hollywood movie, you will see that this is supporting Dolby Vision, and also spatial audio is luckily supported on this one. And as I've told you, the speakers are actually pretty loud on this one, and for most users you will not be going above 75% volume because it's that loud. But what I noticed is that, and I searched this one, we do not have Dolby Atmos, but for spatial audio, we have something known as O Reality, and here you can set it for as a movie or whatever. But what I have noticed is that the kind of effect, the surround effect that you used to get from speakers if a smartphone had Dolby Atmos, that is simply not that great with this O Reality. So I do miss that Dolby Atmos implementation that we used to see in a lot of smartphones. So here also I feel they did a little bit of cost cutting in my frank opinion. Another thing that I noticed is that, again, this will not matter to 95% of the users, but if you're using some very high end headphones, these are the Sennheiser HDB 630. These are audiophile grade wireless headphones, one of the best I would say, and these produce sound very accurately. That's why they are so good. And what I noticed is that, and I was testing this one on multiple devices. For example, I used it on my iPhone, my Galaxy phone, even on this iQOO. But here the sound with critical listening was sounding a little bit different, and I was very perplexed. Why? Because this does support higher audio codecs. For example, Haptics, it was using an Haptics adapter, so I thought codec is not a problem. What was the problem? The thing is that by default even with Bluetooth pairing or whatever, they enable this O reality, and that slightly actually tweaks the sound signature. And for a very accurate headphone like that, that I feel is a distortion. So if you are using very high-end headphones or something like that, here is a tip: just go to the sound effects and disable this O reality thing. So anyways, I'm digressing. So that's what it is. So stereo speakers are actually good, but I miss the missing of Dolby Atmos. Okay, next thing I like is the touch response. The touch response is very, very good. OnePlus say that they have a special chip for this touch. And again, I have to say the touch is very good, but I don't think so it's because of the chip or whatever, because even this is, what is this, iQOO 15 has the same Snapdragon chip, and this one also in terms of touch response is equally good. So in based on touch, again, you don't have to worry. Both of these smartphones are very, very good. In fact, I think so all of the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 are going to be like that. In fact, in this area, I have to say, these phones are actually, let me unlock, are much smoother in the UI compared to even the iPhone. Yes, because I have been actually using this iPhone Air for quite some time. I have to say, in terms of touch response, this phone is actually way, way, way smoother. Anyways, moving, and again, I did not notice any jankiness or anything while using the phone. Only thing, as I've told you, RAM management, for some reason, I don't know why, it's slightly on the aggressive side. So that is what I've noticed. One more place where I felt they have downgraded a little bit with this OnePlus 15 is in terms of the haptic motor. And again, some of you might say, again, I didn't check it or whatever. First thing I did was I went to the haptics. By default, it'll be here somewhere. I increased it to the max. But then also, I feel haptics are not as good as earlier, OnePlus devices and some of the other flagship Android phones that I have used. So again, here also they lowered a little bit, which is very, very surprising, because now they are targeting the smartphone with that 165 Hz as a gaming centric smartphone. And if you are having that gaming centric thing as your main theme, then the haptics actually complement them. But here, I don't know why they went in the opposite direction. So that is something that I've noticed. Now coming to the benchmarks, I also ran some benchmarks, and this is the score that we got. Again, excellent score, 3.73 million. And the only other handset that I had with the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 was this iQOO 15. So again, I ran even on this one, Antutu, and here we got a score of 3.86 million. So about 1 lakh more than this one. But again, needless to say, these are very, very fast smartphone. Anything you throw on it won't to be an issue. And some of you have asked me about heating also on this one, and to be very frank, I say in general regular usage, you will not experience any heating. The back gets slightly warm, but that's it. Again, I didn't notice it. Only place where I felt that the handset was getting quite warm was when I was running that benchmark. Not only this area got hot to touch, but even this part, the railing, actually became hot. But apart from that, even I played Call of Duty for about 25 minutes. I kept it on the maximum settings that supported, and I had no issue. So in regular day-to-day usage, I don't think so the heating is an issue. But again, if you are just trying to run benchmarks continuously in a loop or something, yes, it will get hot quite a bit. And in fact, the battery also drains quite a bit when you run the benchmarks. For example, it actually Antutu shows that. Okay, as you can see, we were just running Antutu once, dropped the battery by about 6%. So that is what I have noticed. So regular usage, I don't think so heating will be an issue with this smartphone. Next thing is, this is something that I really loved on this smartphone, and hats off to OnePlus for doing this. For Wi-Fi, they are using their own chip. If I recall, it's the new C2 chip. And if you recall, the C1 chip was first introduced in the OnePlus 13s, and I had actually tested it, and I said that the Wi-Fi reception on that phone was one of the worst that I have experienced. It used to drop Wi-Fi a lot, but they have definitely fixed this in this new version. And now the Wi-Fi on this one, even on 5 gigahertz, which is actually not that strong, the range, I got the best range with Wi-Fi on this smartphone. In a certain area in my house with 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi band, the iPhone actually drops and goes to mobile data, but this was actually connected. Yes, it was not at full signal, it went down a little bit, but this was connected and it did not have any problem. So in terms of Wi-Fi, I have to say they have actually fixed it, and I think so now in terms of Wi-Fi, this is the phone that will be my benchmark. That's actually that good. Okay, now moving to another thing that I did not like with this smartphone is the software experience now. And this might not be too much of a worry if you are a new user who has not used OnePlus earlier. But if you have been a OnePlus loyal or something, again, this is nothing but ColorOS in my frank opinion, with just a Oxygen OS labeling. Because to give you an idea, this is the Oppo Find X9 Pro, the flagship from Oppo, the current flagship from Oppo. And this is also very, very similar. Again, as you can see, this widget, this also has that same widget, as you can see. So internally, it's actually the same device, I have to say. Also, in terms of, again, Oppo also has this app market, etc. This one also, they just named it App Pick, but it's exactly the same thing. So yeah, so very, very similar stuff that we are getting on this. Fortunately, this does not have any hot games or hot apps that were pre-installed, so that way I would say it's slightly better. But again, apart from that, this Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn were pre-installed, so I won't mind. These are decent apps. So but again, you have some extra apps like the App Store, the Phone Manager, and all those things. Apart from that, these are some of the OnePlus specific apps that we are having. Good to see that our remote blaster that is there on this one, and that actually works very, very well. So that is regarding the software. It's a ColorOS clone rather than a original OnePlus. The original OnePlus, original Oxygen OS used to be very similar to the stock Android, but that is not the case. This, if you mimic this one, this feels like a clone of iOS. So again, that's what I have noticed on this one. Again, as I've told you, gaming was very good, but again, for detailed gaming, check out other channels. Now, coming to another good thing about this one is that this has a massive battery. That's thanks to that 7300. Let's just go to about. You will see the 7300 milliamp hour battery that you are getting on this one. And this is a silicon carbon battery that you are having, hence the battery life is actually very, very good on this one. It's too early for me to comment exactly about the battery life. It should, even if you're sort of a heavy user, because last 12 odd hours I have been actually using it heavily on using the camera a lot, running benchmarks and all those things, and as you can see, I had kept it 100% charged. Now it's at what, 68%, so 32% used, and we have already got a screen on time of 3 hours 32 minutes. So easily 9-10 hours of SOT is easily possible on this smartphone. In fact, one of my friend actually has this one. He had purchased it about 5 days ago, and he's telling he's easily getting 10 to 12 hours of SOT on this one with about 1.5 days of usage. So battery life is actually not an issue. Now let's talk about the cameras on this one. And here I would say they have degraded the cameras a bit, because though all the back three cameras on the back are actually 15 megapixels, the telephoto is a 3.5x that you're getting, but again, they have been downgraded a little bit. The front facing though is a 32 megapixel. Good thing is that front facing also has auto focus. But enough about the talks. Here are some of the samples that I've taken with this camera. And good outdoor lighting, as you can see, the pictures actually come out nice. This is regular 1x, and again, outdoor situation, it comes out okay. This is 1x, this is that 3.5x zoom, this is that 7x zoom, and this is that digital zoom up to 21x. One more example, in good lighting, 1x, this was that 3.5x, and this was that 7x, and in good lighting up to 10-12x, you can easily get good results. For human subjects in good lighting, they look good. This is in portrait mode. By default, it goes to 3.5x, but you can also drop it down to 1x. One more example, regular mode, default mode. Here I enabled the portrait mode. It jumped to 3.5x. You can lower it down to 2x and even 1x in the portrait mode. Some more samples. This was in the regular mode, and this was in the portrait mode, but kept at 2x. If you are against the light, the face does not lit up properly, and in this photograph, notice the background, it's not lit up as well, and in ultra wide, again, that is exaggerated, but in good lighting, it's not a problem. This was a regular shot, and this was the ultra wide. This picture was taken in semi low lighting conditions, regular mode, and this was ultra wide. Ultra wide gets very weak in low lighting. One more example with the main lens, and this was with the ultra wide. Some more pictures shot in low lighting conditions around my house, and I would say the pictures are okay. It's not totally unusable, but what I felt is that for a flagship that cost 70,000, the pictures could have been better in low lighting. Now for some selfies with the front facing camera, and in normal mode actually the selfies come out good. As you can see, these are decent pictures, but here I enable the portrait bokeh mode, and where you see the arrow, the blurring of the hair is a hit or a miss at times. Many times it's good, but many times if you notice, the blurring of the hair in the portrait mode is bad and can look artificial. This was taken at night in low lighting conditions. These were taken in the normal mode. As you can see, they came out decent considering the light, but again the pictures are soft, and these were taken in the portrait bokeh mode during night conditions. Okay, now let's look at some of the video samples that I've shot with this smartphone. Recording this video with the rear facing camera at 4K 30 FPS. Good thing is that it can record even at 60 and even 120 FPS. And let's do one thing. Let's move to the ultra wide directly from here. This is 1x and this is the 3.5x. And you can zoom even up to 7x directly from here. And let me quickly just go back to 1x and see how's the transition now. So let's just keep it on 1x now, and I'm going to walk so that we have an idea how's the stabilization. And I'm just walking normally, and the audio, guys, is from the internal microphone. Let me just move to a sunny area. This is a sunny area, and let's quickly just move back. There's a little bit of what you say, lens flare, yeah, that I noticed. Okay, anyways, let's go back now. This is a shadowed area, and I'm just walking to give you an idea how's the stabilization on this one. And at least in the preview, the stabilization looks to be actually good. And just using the default mode, let's climb the stairs also now. There's slight wind, not that much, so it'll be interesting to see if the microphone is able to ignore it or compensate for it. And again, this is 1x. Let's just quickly move back to that ultra wide. So this is ultra wide, and I'll just go directly to the 3.5x now. So this is the 3.5x zoom. So guys, this is a quick video sample recorded with the rear facing camera of this OnePlus 15. Shooting with the front facing camera at 4K 30 FPS, and one interesting thing that you will notice is that the background is sort of blurred. What I noticed is that in the video mode, even in the default video mode, there was that f-stop button, and if you press that, you can adjust the aperture. Hence, you are getting that background blurring effect. And I'm just walking here and there to give you an idea how effective this is. And at least in the preview, this actually looks very, very good. So I'm actually impressed with this, and this actually gives you that you're shooting from a DSLR or something, because that DSLR, you have the depth of field effect, and it's trying to mimic that one in this one. So this is actually a pretty nice feature that they have implemented. I've seen this feature earlier also, a lot of smartphones, but it never actually looked this good. So do let me know, what do you feel about the same. In a quick sample with the rear facing camera, and again I'm recording at 4K 30 FPS, and here also we have that f-stop option, and as you can see, I've kept it to f2.8, and here as you can see, I'm just moving my hand and the background is getting blurred. This effect is like what you get with the DSLRs, and I think so OnePlus is actually doing this much better than what I thought. As you can see now, I brought my hand here, it's in focus and the background is blurred, and again it's very quick to react. So need to test this a lot more, but I feel they have implemented this actually pretty well, and it's actually doing it in 4K. So we have this feature with both the front facing as well as the rear facing camera. Another sample video recorded with the front facing camera, again in 4K 30 FPS, and now it's a little bit sunny area that we are in, so let's wanted to get an idea how it does. And the sun is at the back, so again in fact I'm actually impressed with this one. Though the sun is at the back, it's able to actually lit up my face properly. So definitely the processing is a lot better, I would say, this time, I would say. So it's generally difficult for, yeah, this is actually, the sun is over there. As you can see, it's doing a good job. And this is actually the preferred thing. Sun is there, so this is sort of the ideal lighting situation that you will be facing when you're shooting the video with this one. And I'm just walking, so how's the vlog style video, because there is some shadowed area, sun coming, so this should give you an idea. One interesting thing that I noticed is that f-stop in the video, I noticed even in the iQOO 15. So looks like this feature is there in these new smartphones that are coming with Snapdragon 8 Elite Generation 5. And I think so this processor is so powerful that it's able to do that background blurring, etc., within the video effectively. But this is a quick sample recorded with the front facing camera of this OnePlus 15 at 4K 30 FPS. So guys, this is the OnePlus 15, and to summarize, I would say let's start with some of the things that I did not like on this one. The first thing is, if you're buying this, don't go for this sandstone finish because of that slight flex that I'm noticing on this one. And again, in terms of in-hand feel, also premiumness, I feel the ones with the glass back will feel a lot more premium in your hand. Next thing is, I don't know why. I think so OnePlus did this intentionally, because guys, let's be frank, now OnePlus is nothing but a Oppo sub brand, and I think so Oppo did this intentionally. They have put their best camera on their Oppo flagship device, and again this cost a lot more, or almost about 30,000 rupees more even after the discounts compared to the OnePlus. So if you want the best cameras, I think so they are trying to push you towards the Oppo device, in my frank opinion. That is the reason I feel in camera I felt in difficult situations, and also in good lighting also, and sometimes the contrast etc is not as good as what we used to get. In fact, some of you have asked me if we have the OnePlus 13, should we upgrade? My frank answer is no. In fact, in terms of camera, you will easily notice that the OnePlus 13's camera does perform better than the OnePlus 15's camera. And haptics also, for some reason, I don't know why did they downgrade, because now they're targeting this as a gaming centric smartphone. And also in terms of software updates, this is going to get only next 4 Android upgrades, whereas from the other smartphones, even some of the Chinese brands will be getting a lot more. I don't know why this discrepancy. But now moving to some things that actually I liked on this one, and in fact it surprised me. Again, a fingerprint scanner I completely forgot to mention, very good. As you can see, it's ultrasonic, don't have to worry about it. Superb, I would say. The Wi-Fi was a standout for me. In fact, now this phone has become my benchmark for testing the Wi-Fi, to be very frank. Also, I like the fast charging and the battery life that you're getting with this one. And kudos to OnePlus for still bundling their fast charger in the box. And also the UI is very fast. Again, no UI lag or anything that you will notice. I just hope in terms of RAM management, they are not as aggressive as they are as of now, and that can be easily fixed with the software update, in my frank opinion. And also that thing that actually surprised me is the video quality on this one. I was not expecting that, considering the camera performance that we were getting for static pics, but in terms of video, it was actually performing pretty well. So guys, this was my quick initial review of the OnePlus 15. Again, stay tuned to the channel. I will be testing it a lot more, and I'm currently testing this iQOO 15. So I will be posting a video on the iQOO 15 in the next couple of days. So stay tuned for that. And I'll also try, if I get time, compare it with this OnePlus 15. Anyways guys, that's it for now. Thanks for watching, and guys, if you're still not subscribed to the YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button. And if you're planning to buy this OnePlus 15, I'll leave the link of Amazon India in the description. Use that, it does help the channel. Anyways guys, that's it for now. Thanks for watching. This is Ranjit, and I hope to see you in my next video. Take care guys.